Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Committee of the Whole meeting for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. I will now call the meeting to order. We acknowledge that we're in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. 2.1, approval of the agenda. The recommended motion is that the agenda be approved as presented. Moved by Councillor Lee, seconded by Councillor Fromm. Thank you very much. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion's carried. Declaration of conflict of interest as per the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. I'll draw your attention to that. And item 2.3, that the minutes of the October 15th, 2025 regular Committee of the Whole meeting be approved as presented. If somebody be so kind as to move that. Moved by Councillor Strong, seconded by Councillor Lockhart. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded, the motion is carried. Business arising is included and will be reviewed.
1 second, Your Worship.
That you.
That's me.
Mr.
Hold on.
Herrick, go ahead. Excuse me.
Your Worship, business arising is at pages 9 and 10 of Council's information package. First one relates to last month's Committee of the Whole of October 15th. Happy to report that all items are complete. And the ongoing action list relates, the only outstanding item is the issue of the drinking water issue in River Hibbert. And as we all know, it's our plan at some point in time to attempt to include that with proposed new fire hall in River Hibbert. So that will remain in progress for a bit yet.
Thank you very much.
Any questions? I'm happy
Mr.
to
Herrick,
answer.
anyone have any questions on that report or that? Seeing none, we'll move along. 2.5, there are no public hearings scheduled for today. There are no organizational policy or bylaw items scheduled for today. Business issues, 4.1, December Committee of the Whole and council meeting dates. Deputy CEO, Mr. McCracken, you will lead us in this one. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Worship. As you know, we're coming into the holiday season, and staff are requesting that we move the December 2025 Committee of the Whole and regular council meetings. Normally, they would fall on the 3rd and 4th Wednesdays of the month, but the 4th Wednesday is Christmas Eve, so guessing folks don't want to be here staring at each other that evening. So we're making a motion to move those to the 2nd and 3rd Wednesdays of the month, respectively. The motion is in your package.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken. The recommended motion is the council reschedule the December 2025 Committee of the Whole and regular council meetings from the 3rd and 4th Wednesday of the month to the 2nd and 3rd Wednesdays of the month. So somebody make that motion. Moved by Deputy Mayor Gould, seconded by Councillor Lee. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary minded?
Can I get 2 words in?
The motion is carried.
Just,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out for council's information, anybody else following along, that that decision won't go forward to next week's council meeting for a decision because the policy allows for it to be made directly in Committee of the Whole. That's why. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 5, external reports and committee minutes. The 5.1, the Navigator Monthly Report. 5.2, the Solid Waste Monthly Report. 5.3, the Cliffs of Fundy Geopark Monthly Report. And 5.4, the Cumberland Business Connector Monthly Report are all included in your meeting package for today, and I recommend them to your reading at your leisure.
Your Worship, we're also working on, if I might, we're also working on a bit of a briefing for council on the changes to recycling with circular materials. And so at the very least, we'll have frequently asked questions and a written briefing, and we're hoping to arrange to have Brenda Ryu come to speak to council or Committee of the Whole probably in December.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Herrick. And internal updates, reports, and committee minutes. 6.1, Administration Department Monthly Report. Mr. McCracken.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just quickly, starting on page 20 and going to page 22 of your package is the Administrative Department's October report. We've had some recruiting activity in human resources. Also, under human resources, we had our second all-staff meeting this year, and those all-staff meetings are going over very well. People are very appreciative to be able to get together. As you know, we're spread out all over the county, and so it allows folks to get together for a morning and review some topics that are common to all employees, including a respectful workplace training session that we had this time around. We also were very fortunate to have at the staff meeting Dr. Gerald Glode. I don't know if you've had a opportunity to see Dr. Globe present, but definitely recommend, if you ever get a chance, to see him present on Mi'kmaq culture. In this particular presentation was on the 13 moons of the lunar sort of Mi'kmaq calendar, and it was a real highlight for staff. And staff took a lot away from that training opportunity. And there was a smudging ceremony at the community center as well, and we're pleased that 25-30 staff were able to participate in that. So that was a highlight for October. Otherwise, just draw your attention to district grants on page 22. There's $16,416.94 as of the publication of this report left in the kitty for district grants. So with a few months left, I'm sure you all have plans for that money. Other than that, I don't have any other things to report, but happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken. Does anyone have any questions on this report? Seeing none, I'll release you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There you go. Well, what else do you say? 6.2, Development Planning Department Monthly Report. Mr. Boone. Let's have her.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm trying to keep on my B+ scoring here today. Good afternoon, members of council, public. The report is in your package. I will give you some brief highlights. Not necessarily detailed in the plan review, was noted under the planning section that we're working with the consultant, but just want council to know the community engagement part of the plan review. We received the draft from the consultants yesterday, so we're going to just want council to be aware coming soon about when community meetings will happen in that process. So just keep an eye out for that, because it may be some information we'll share in advance of the next committee of the whole meeting. Information just in the package, the rezoning appeal, 1370 Southampton Road with Liberty Lane Logistics. We had the decision from the board which overturned council's rejection, so just want folks to be aware of that we've had to implement those changes into our land use bylaw per the order from the board. In respect to economic development, the business logo signs are now complete as you come in from the entryway through Fort Lawrence, so those are all fully populated, if you may, and we may come back to council with some changes to the additional signage that can happen out there in next year's capital plan. The line painting and the spray top of the Gateway Park has been completed. There are some pictures of some other developments that occurred at the Gateway, but I'll move away from those, Your Worship. And then under special projects, just want the team and council to understand that we have been having a lot of engagement with Explore with regards to internet. There's been a lot of conversation and a lot of concern from residents with regards to internet service that happens through satellite. So residents that may be listening, and I've mentioned this to other council members, we'll send some information out. Build Nova Scotia is the contact for folks that can only utilize satellite for their internet that may be ending through its Explore contact. So, and I know that the CAO has made Explore very much aware of our concerns over that, but we have been engaging in that on a regular basis. So just want the folks to know that we're asking Explore to do their part. The welcome signs that you may have noticed now, there is one up in Folly on the old number 4, and the main one at the Fort Lawrence as you come across the border is in place, and we're just waiting on confirmation for the third one, which will be somewhere in the Cobequid Pass in proximity to the toll. So good progress in those. I know that Eileen's been working hard on it, and Roger had worked hard on it for a number of years, so it was a long time coming, but we're getting progress. And I will end with building and permitting. The stats and the charts that are normally in the report are there. Just note that we have exceeded last year in numbers in respect to 196 new units developed. So some of those are in multi-unit buildings. A lot of this driven by some of the development that was in Fox Harbor, but we're seeing growth across the county. And building permits, I really consider them flat over last year because the difference is we're only down 1.7%. So that's really a handful of permits. And we are processing a number of new applications as we speak. Happy to answer any questions, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boone. before you comment, Ms. Councilor Lockhart, the CAO wanted to add something to that
Thank you.
first.
Yep, thank you.
ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just wanted to pick up on a couple of things. The first one is the issues with Explore and dropping satellite coverage, and the way it was communicated, and the fact that they are dropping it, even the fact that they are dropping it. So enough is enough. You know, we've spent a lot of time with this council and with others and with members of the public, trying to be patient with Explore and trying to deal with the contract that we have with them and the thresholds that are in that contract. But then to learn that coverage is being dropped for individuals in otherwise, areas that are otherwise, other than satellite coverage, unable to obtain internet service is simply not acceptable. And I've written to the company and I've told them how unhappy we are. And I've told them that what they did was unacceptable. And I've told them that their communication was poorly done and that none of the partners had a heads up on these issues and that we're extremely disappointed. And I've gone further and told them that I'm done defending ExploreNet. And I am. I think the time has come for us to press the company. Maybe we'll get nowhere. Maybe we'll get nowhere. But they have responded with a meeting request. So Glenn and I and perhaps some others will be meeting with them in the next week or so to reiterate our concerns and to try to advocate on behalf of those folks that are losing their internet. It's just not acceptable. So that's number one. The other thing I just want to pick up on, Your Worship, and that was the highway signs. And Glenn mentioned that Roger McIsaac, started the project and deserved a lot of the credit, and I want to pick up on that. I think about all of the projects that Roger did for us in the past, and so I want to, publicly thank him for that. I know that, he's perhaps not feeling all that well these days, and working through some things, but I want him to know that we're thinking about him, and I want him to know that we recognize the contributions that he's made to the community, and I also know that he watches these religiously. And so, Roger, sorry about that, but thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilor Lockhart, go ahead.
I just had a question on the Southampton, because I'm new to this. So the appeal board switched our decision. Is that the end of it? Can the people appeal again? I'm just wanting to know for my own clarity.
Your Worship.
Director Boom, go ahead.
Your Worship, back to Councillor Lockhart. The decision of council was overturned through the appeal process. It was a long process, a lot of information back and forth. Both parties dealt with it very respectfully. But at this point, I feel that the matter is closed. To go beyond our decision of the board would be a very costly venture.
Councilor Lockhart?
I just wondered, is there, like, if they want it, is there
Yeah.
an appeal to an appeal?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, so Your Worship, just back is that the staff recommendation on that originally was following policy. Council had some concerns, very legitimate concerns raised by the community. Council made a decision, and the board, through that process, overturned that. So in my mind, the matter is closed, and we've been ordered by the board to put those changes into our land use bylaw, and those are in effect based on the board's order.
Interesting. Anyone else? Thank you very much, Mr. Boone.
Thank you.
6.3, Finance Department Monthly Report. Director Amy Hurdle, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Your Worship. My report is in the package. I'll just highlight a couple things that are in there. The finance staff have finalized the second quarter financial statements just this week, actually. For the first 6 months of 24-25, there is an audit committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, November 25th, which I'm sure you're all aware of. And we are also starting some preliminary work on the budget, which all the directors are so excited about. You will see in the report, we received a letter from PVSC, Property Valuation Services Corporation, and they've advised that their 26-27 budget, so that's the budget we're just starting to work on now, has been approved with an 8% increase, approximately $45,600, and an increase in billing forecasted for 27-28 and 28-29 of 8% and 4% respectively. So we will build those into our budgets, but we wanted to draw your attention to those amounts. And as you are all aware, we did hold a tax sale on October 21st. There were 28 accounts eligible to be auctioned on the day of the tax sale, of which 20 were sold successfully and 7 that did not sell. There was one property that sold. The minimum bid was paid, but the surplus was not paid within the 3 days. So this property will be added to the next tax sale to attempt to sell it again. Your worship.
Thank you very much, Amy.
No, keep going. Sorry.
Anyone have any questions or comments on this report? Well, the CAO is throwing things at me. Hearing none. Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you.
6.4, Protective Services Department Monthly Report. Director Alan Cole, and welcome back, Mr. Cole.
Hip, hip, hooray.
Yeah, hip hip hooray, he's back. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Protective Services report starts at page 31 of Council's package. Under Emergency Management, the only significant item there is that I'm now the Regional Emergency Management Coordinator for fire. The summary table of call-outs discounted for mutual aid is on page 31. Total call-outs for October were 88. I will point out that in the last paragraph on that page, second line, there's a typo. It says September instead of October. Not quite sure how I missed that. Medical calls were 59% of the total. And the Spring Hill, Pugwash, Parsboro, and Wallace departments were the busiest, with Spring Hill having 20 call-outs all by itself. During the third week of October, the Joggins Fire Department registration was not renewed, and that matter will be reviewed by council tomorrow.
Yes.
And in bylaw, there were 4 demolition orders granted by council. 2 of those have been completed. The remaining 2 are expected to be completed in November by the end of the month. And then there's a summary table, Your Worship, of the call-outs for the other bylaw categories. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Director Cole. Anyone have any questions? Comment?
Yep.
Mr. Hurt, go
Thank you,
ahead.
thank you, Worship. I just wanted to reference the process for the fire department registration review. I'm having trouble dropping things here. The meeting is tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. It is a meeting that's open to the public. There will be a presentation by staff. There is a written submission by the department and an allowance for the department, a representative from the department to make a verbal presentation as well to council. Council will have the opportunity to question staff or the member of the department who's presenting it. It is a public meeting. I just want to manage expectation and be clear. There isn't an opportunity on the agenda for members of the public to address council on the issue. Just want to be clear on that so that everybody has the same expectation. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hurt. Thank you very much, Mr. Cole.
Thank you, Your Worship.
6.5, Public Works Department Monthly Report. Justin Walcrest, Director. You now have the floor, Mr. Walcrest.
Thank you, Your Worship. Note in there about the Spring Hill water restrictions on the Spring Hill water system. Staff has been monitoring that throughout the summer and into the fall, and very pleased to be in a position to be able to lift the restrictions on the water utility. But of course, we continue to encourage folks to practice responsible water use, fixing their leaks quickly, and using mindful habits when utilizing water in their households. The Parsboro water line project, all the pipe is in the ground and has been tested and commissioned, and we're just waiting to finish off the last little bit of paving and some shouldering to complete that contract. And summary of some of the other activities the Public Works Group has been up to in the month of October, and happy to answer any questions council may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Walkrus. Anyone have any questions or comments on any of this? Council McCormick, go ahead.
Mine's not a question. Mine's just a thank you to Public Works in Spring Hill for everything that they've been doing the last couple of weeks with the banners, and also to getting the first Remembrance Day crosswalk painted. It's greatly appreciated by the residents of Spring Hill. So thank you, and I hope you tell the staff.
Very welcome. The staff have been taking the crosswalk, were literally on their hands and knees touching up the letter, and they weren't happy with that stencil.
I seen them. I was gonna toot, but I didn't think they'd like it.
I was by and supervised the job while it was in progress.
Very helpful.
Thank you very much, Mr.
For mentoring, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Walkrus. Appreciate your report. 6.6, Recreation and Community Services Department Monthly Report. Director Ally McCormick, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Including your council package, you'll find the monthly report for the Department of Recreation and Community Services. Highlight a few items. We have a full lineup of Christmas activities and events coming up, beginning with the Christmas Craft Fair this weekend at the Dr. Carson Mary Murray Community Center. And then we have parades happening all throughout the county between now and Christmas. And we've included the list of parades and the locations and dates in the package. And our rec staff have been working very closely with our public works staff to get the float ready and get registered and have our municipal float in all of the Christmas parades. So when you're attending those parades, I'm sure you'll see our beautiful float going through. Second, I want to highlight that we've partnered with the Cumberland Y through our Learn to Lead initiative, and we're offering a babysitting course in Pugwash on November 29th. So with anyone that's interested in participating in this program, you can go on the Cumberland Y's website. Details are on there, as well as registration information. And finally, I just wanted to highlight the 2025 camping season at the Glooscap Campground. We saw strong growth throughout all categories. Our seasonal sites increased from 37 to 43. Our short-term occupancy rose by more than 12%, and our total guest numbers were up by over 15%, reflecting larger group sizes or family participation at the campground this season, all compared to 2024. During the off-season, we're completing some electrical upgrades to some of our seasonal sites, and we're also replacing the deteriorated culvert at the entrance to the campground as well. Yeah, so it's exciting to see these things again kind of happening at all in anticipation, I guess, of getting ready for the next season. But overall, we were really pleased with the campground's rental rate, and we felt as though we had another great camping season. So happy to answer any questions from council.
Thank you very much, Ally. Anyone have any questions or comments? Thank you. You're good. 7.1, contracts awarded by the CAO.
Your Worship, no contracts awarded by the CAO in the last month, if you can believe that. That's it.
Okay, you did a great job. Thanks, Councilor McCormick. I was going to make some comment about the Grinch and the float, but I didn't. I refrained from doing that. Councilor McCormick took up for me, so that's good. 7.2, grants to organizations. Deputy CAO, Mr. McCracken, will lead us through this menu item. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Purpose of the discussion paper that I just handed out is to provide council with some suggested changes to our grants programs and the rationale for why. If you recall, during budget deliberations this past year, most if not all of council members showed keen interest in modifying the granting process. This was in no small part due to the increasing volume of funding that council is deliberating over, both in terms of the number of applications, but also the total amount of funding requests that that come in. This was particularly acute in 2025-26 when we saw a significant increase in the total amount requested to over $1.8 million, which is double what it was just 3 years ago. So council declined 36 county general grants declined to provide funding to, which is abnormal in recent years when most applications receive some level of support. Luckily, 20 of those were able to be addressed at least partially through district grants. So in summary, the suggested changes in the report attempt to achieve two things, and we're going to leave the report with you, and you can look at the suggestions, and we'll come back at another date to talk about things further. The first is to separate the county general grants into single grant programs instead of having 4 subcategories. So each grant will have its own budget and criteria, which will be set by council. Let's take events as an example. We would create a budget, say $30,000 or $40,000 annually for events and the application criteria for events, and council would approve that. It would be its own program. So the $1,000 community event would be assessed against similar items within that bucket of money, instead of being lumped into a list of 100+ applications in a $940,000 budget covering everything from operations to large capital programs. We can then speak clearly and efficiently about the funding we contribute to the county events each year and the number of applications we support. So we would do that for programs, we would do that for operations, capital, and we would break them all down into their separate programs. We are also suggesting we would further separate capital projects into large and small piles and create a program for each category. As highlighted in the report, when you read it, there's 10 capital projects last year that account for half of the county general grant funds. So this would allow for those smaller capital projects to have their own sort of light shone on them, separate from the larger ones. Finally, we're suggesting subdividing the operations and maintenance. We've talked about potentially creating a program for ground search and rescues or funding just specifically for ground search and rescue organizations. Going back to what we used to do in funding annually development associations, a certain amount, and then further dividing into large organizations. So there's organizations such as the arena in Parsboro who requests a large amount of funding every year. And then there's smaller organizations who, only need a couple $1,000s for their operations and maintenance every year. Again, this allows for more focus on similar requests being evaluated together. The second big change, which is quite a shift, suggests allowing council to focus its grant deliberations on just the larger projects. So council will continue to focus on things such as large capital projects, annual grants, large requests from community facilities with major operating budgets. For smaller requests such as events, programs, small operating funds, and administration would receive these and make decisions based on the number of applications, the criteria, and the budgeted amount annually. So, as mentioned, council would still control the amounts or approve the amounts of funding each year for all those grant pots and approve the criteria. But the burden of reviewing and approving every single small application along with all the big ones would not be required. And that is just, these are suggestions, so take it away, digest them. If the suggestions were endorsed, council would bring, during budget deliberations, set budgets for each grant program, and they will only have to review 20 to 30 individual applications instead of the 100+ sort of laundry list that is you review now. So I guess what we're asking now is that you read the report carefully and formulate some questions and suggestions for the future. We'll revisit this in a couple more times, no doubt, before now and the end of December, when we discuss it further as a group, and with the aim of having our grant programs ready for the 2026-2027 granting season. So I'll leave that with council. If there's any preliminary questions right now, without digging too deep until you get a chance to read the report, happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken. Anyone have any questions or comments on this at this time? Councillor Redmond, go ahead.
Your worship, yes, I can do that.
Good, thank you very much. Anyone else? Thank you very much, Mr. McCracken.
Thank you.
We're gonna, yes, and again, thank you. A lot of work on that one. You've been really busy lately between that and the next announcement. We just have a quick addition to the, I'm gonna call it 7.3. I didn't ask for approval on that, I know, but I'm sure you'll all be okay with it. I'll refer to the Anne Marie Classic, A Little Good News for the town of Spring Hill. So let's go, Mr. Herrick.
Thank you, Your Worship. Should I pause while you break into song?
No, we're good,
Okay.
we're good.
Just want to check.
If you pause, you might run if I break into song, I can tell you that.
We're happy to report that today we signed a lease with Canada Post for some space in the main floor of the former town hall in Spring Hill, the administrative building. It's a 3-month lease, and we're pleased to be able to help the community and accommodate them and get what we believe is fair market rent for the space as well. So thank you very much to Peter McCracken, who has done all the heavy lifting on the negotiations with Canada Post, and although we've been near a deal for a few days, it was not finalized until today, but all's well that ends well, and we're happy to be moving on. So thanks, Your Worship, and thank you, Peter.
Yes, thank you very much to both of you for all your work on that file. I certainly appreciate it by myself and council. Anyone have any comments on that? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Deputy Mayor Gould to adjourn. We're now adjourned. Thank you very much.